This will unlock the Phoenix Suns as we're going to be looking at an article that puts three players that are going to have a career year this year. And if so, I believe the Suns have the best chance of winning a championship than they've had in the last 5 years. So, will they be able to live up to this? Will these guys be able to stand out? We're going to dive into all of this and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support for CJ and I, and we really do appreciate all the love you guys have been giving us. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around this team, especially the little tidbits on the dry part of the year with a little over a month to go in the season, make sure to hit that like button to stay in the Suns algorithm. But without further ado, let's dive into the topic at hand. And like I mentioned, we're going to be looking at an article that looks at three Suns players who have career years in 2024-2025 this season. And this article is written by Rain Carmack Amura or Amuro. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name, but I really do like your first name. First, let's dive into these three players and see what they had to say. First player that they said was Tyus Jones, and I couldn't agree more. Now, Tyus Jones was acquired by the Phoenix Suns this summer on a steal of a contract that CJ and I were absolutely fantastic and glad to see happen. Now, Tyus Jones was a player that we thought was the best perfect fit to solve that assist to turnover ratio and to be that point guard that we thought the Suns desperately needed. We felt that Tyus Jones was going to get a deal 10 to $15 million range and would be well out of the Suns' price range with them being able to get veteran minimum contracts. Fortunately for Tyus Jones, the market wasn't there for them. And fortunately for Suns fans, including CJ and myself, we got our dream point guard to be the starter here in Phoenix on a veteran minimum contract. Now, Jones is expected to be the starting point guard with this team, and this is going to be the second time he's been a starter, where last season he was also a starter on Washington, where he started 66 games for them. Now, over in Memphis and Minnesota, he was viewed as a backup, and he did get some starting minutes with Ja Morant being out with some injuries 1 year in Memphis, but was a primary backup that did show himself to be a good quality starter, but never got that big of an opportunity. We want to look at Tyus Jones' stats from last season. We can see he averaged 12 points, 7.3 assists on 49% shooting from the field and 41% shooting from three. This guy is a mid-range killer. He is going to play make, facilitate, get the Suns players the ball, make sure the big three is touching the ball and getting up their shots, but also being a solid defender on that side of the ball and distributing and playmaking, but also hitting his own shots. The one gripe where I think Tyus Jones really needs to step up is be able to deliver in that 3 point category, especially when guys like Booker and Beal are getting double teamed or even Kevin Durant. They have to switch off. They have to give the ball to Tyus. He's got to be able to step up and hit those shots to be that good quality starter. I truly think that he'll be able to do that this season, though. The All-Star triplets of the Suns will command all the defensive attention, giving Jones free reign to become a spot-up shooter. The veteran guard could score at least 15 points next season, which would be freaking fantastic. And I think his shooting efficiency would also be a factor as he shot the three ball over 40% in his previous campaign. If he can keep it at that 40%, maybe even a 42, 43%, I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, Jones' playmaking will also benefit with playing with the team's big three, having three primary scorers. He's always had the advantage of guards who like to share the ball. If the former Duke guard averaged more than 7 assists with the Wizards last season, who knows how many passes he can execute with this Suns team. And I truly agree with Rain here. I really do believe that a guy in Tyus Jones is really going to step up, show out for Suns fans this season, and really deliver on both sides of the floor. Like we said, the Suns were a bottom five in assist to turnover ratio, and they got two of, if not the best assist to turnover ratio point guards in the NBA right now in Tyus Jones and Monte Morris at the helm. They already have the stars and the scoring in Beal, Booker, and Durant. And now they just need that rim protection and that solid center play from Nurkic and Mason Plumlee. And truly, I think this team is going to be sound and ready to go. They got the wing shooting and Royce O'Neale and Grayson Allen, and they are going to be prime to make a push for this championship. Tyus Jones is one of those guys that needs to come in, needs to deliver right away. And I truly think he's going to be one of the league's best point guards this year and prove that he can be a starting point guard in the league next season. Let me know what you guys think about the Tyus Jones acquisition with this Phoenix Suns team. Now, the next player we're going to be diving in and looking at is one of the players I just mentioned, and that will be Royce O'Neale. Now, Royce O'Neale was a player that for the Suns, I thought they should have traded for a couple seasons ago. Or, sorry, excuse me, at the start of last season. when they had acquired Kevin Durant, had gotten rid of both of their wings in Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. As a Suns fan, I thought, why not go after a guy either Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neale from this Brooklyn Nets team? The Nets are no longer good. They just traded Kyrie and KD. They want to be bad. They have good wings that could be viable for this Suns team who now just needs wings. They just gave both of them up. You should go after and get one of those two players. Now, the Suns did listen to that and did go after Royce O'Neale at the trade deadline last season and giving up 5 of their veteran minimum contracts to be able to facilitate that deal. And even though Royce wasn't the most impactful last season in his stay, I think he'll be very impactful this season for the Suns this year. We dive in. Since his arrival at the Valley, he's obviously contributed well to the team. He's one of the smart players for the Suns and doesn't try too much or too little on both ends. He is a little bit undersized of the small forward position, but he plays big and belongs for big moments in Phoenix. Now, given that he's a role player, he's expected for Royce O'Neale to not put on monster figures on the stat sheet. The Basketball Reference predicts that the forward will average over 10 points next season, and I agree with that. With the star trio, he'll get more open looks. And because of his all-star teammates, there'll be a good number of shot attempts from them. This means the 6'4" forward crash the boards and average almost 7 rebounds. Now, if we want to look at a player like Royce O'Neale, we can see that Royce O'Neale averaged 7.7 points last season, 4.8 rebounds, and 2.8 assists. The article suggests that that rebound number will go up, and I also agree, that that number will go up as well. I believe that that number category will also go up, and I believe that that 3-point percentage category will also go up. He didn't shoot the greatest from 3-point range and from the field last season, only shooting around 40% from the field and 37% from 3-point range. Royce O'Neale, at 33 years old, did shoot 44% from corner threes, and that's what he's typically known for hitting from 3-point shots. I think that we'll see a more version of Royce O'Neale where he is more comfortable at that 40% shooting from 3-point range, especially if he is going to be slated to be coming off the bench for this Suns lineup where I predict he kind of will fall. I do see Tyus Jones obviously starting. That's the reason he came here. The big three will be alongside of him with Nurkic. That means guys like Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neale will be the number 1 and number 2 guys off the bench. And I think that allows them to get a little bit more flexibility. Even allows them to have some more different game situation lineups. And if Royce O'Neale is really delivering from that 3-point ball from that wing position and is playing solid defense, if they're going up against some teams that are a little bigger in size, maybe they'll resort to Royce O'Neale at the end game and take out one of those guards, either Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, or Devin Booker, if one of them's either in foul trouble or not having the greatest offensive game. That's where I think the Suns can come very into figure matching up with a lot of these teams, and it brings them with a lot of flexibility and versatility that they didn't have in previous seasons, especially last year with having a bunch of veteran minimum contracts. Truly, I think Royce O'Neale is really set to have a fantastic season this year, having a full year with this Suns team, and I'm very excited to see what he can truly do with this Suns roster. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What you guys think Royce O'Neale can do for this team and how you guys think he'll fit in with this squad. And lastly, the third player that we're going to be breaking down is Devin Booker. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the star, the arguably best player on the team, in my opinion. Devin Booker is going to have a career year, and we've already seen it get off to a fantastic start with Team USA. Now, like we mentioned, and I just said, Booker had an amazing summer in Paris where he started in all the games for Team USA and played a fantastic role at that 2/small ball 3 role where he delivered on both sides of the floor, offensively and defensively, getting some big time steals, but also being very consistent in his shot making and shot selection. He was a gold medalist there, and fans get to see the value of Devin Booker this season truly at the Olympics. The 6'5" guard could average close to 30 points next season, and I really think that that is going to be something that we see. We spent last season as the team's unofficial point guard, which is why he focused on getting his teammates involved. Fortunately, the team acquired 2 reliable point guards to take over those playmaking duties to allow Booker to slide back into that shooting guard or small forward position. The assists might go down next year, but that wouldn't be a problem since the new point guard will take care of sharing the rock. Booker's only task next season will be to score. Defensively, he'll also perform better as seen in his defensive production with Team USA. And like I mentioned, playing that small ball position, he was very small ball 3. He was very good at locking up some of those guys. Looking at Devin Booker's stats from last year, 27 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6.9 assists, 49% shooting from the field, and 36% shooting from 3. I will tell you right now that that 3-point percentage will go up to 40% by next season because he won't have to take as many hero shots in late game situations, especially with these guys really setting them up and really setting up the offense. I think the offense will run more smoothly throughout the game, so the Suns won't be in as troublesome situations. I think that that field goal percentage will stay working around that 50% as well. And like the article said, and our boy and our guy said, I think Rain, that 20, like Rain said, 27 points going up to 30 could be something that we see take a jump. The assists, I do believe, will take a little bit of a drop, but not that much of a drop. Still think he'll average around 5 assists for this Suns team, and I'm really excited to see him really take this leap. Devin Booker has been one of my favorite players in the NBA for a while, was vastly underrated, then people said he was overrated, and now I believe is back in that underrated category. He's one of the league's, if not the league's best shooting guard in the NBA, improved that by starting with Team USA, dominating in all the games he played, and playing in a role that he was not familiar with, but still succeeding in. That small ball three role, especially when they were running with Curry and Drew Holiday being those guards. He was that scorer for that unit. And I truly think that with this Suns team, him, Booker, and or him, Beal, and Durant are all going to be those three scorers. Jones and Monte are going to set them up. Royce O'Neale and Grayson Allen are going to be those scorers off the bench, maybe some extra defenders, and then we'll have guys like Okogie, Ryan Dunn kind of being those other defenders alongside Mason Plumlee. I truly think that the center situation is still a little bit of a question mark. We'll have to see how Nurkic and Plumlee do look, but I truly think that this Suns team is scary, and with having all three of these players click, bringing everything together alongside Durant, having Beal have a good season, Grayson Allen shooting like he did last year, this team will be a top 5 team in the West, will be a scary team in the playoffs. And with having Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, two players who have playoff experience and know what to do in the playoffs, I know that this team will be able to go far and will be able to shock a lot of people in the Western Conference. So let me know what you guys think down below. How do you guys think these three players will turn out this season? Do you think Tyus Jones, Royce O'Neale, and Devin Booker will have outstanding seasons? Do you think two of them are going to have outstanding seasons? Do you think that they're not going to have good outstanding seasons? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'd love to hear your comments. Like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode. We really do appreciate it. Everything that you guys do over on Suns Digest and supporting us truly means a lot. From Bruce Velez signing off. Have a great rest of your day and go Phoenix Suns.